slide there, and then jump. I got the depth. Once I'm here. Alright, come up. So there's a lot that I can do with both the Torpedo motor and this bench shaft carbon fiber foam core, just beautiful custom paddle here. But there are things, there are limitations to everything. And when I go from moving with the motor to punching up through some rapids and then digging with the paddle, there are limitations to that. And when I hit those limitations, I use this, the Rogue Fishing Company drag strap. Let's take a look at how I got up this ledge right here, which I think limits a lot of the pressure that, comes from the downstream up. They stop right there. And really what that means is now that I'm on the upstream side, I'm fishing in a space that there are a lot of fish that don't see quite the pressure that they do just even right there. These fish here don't see as many lures as those fish right there. Let's take a look at my attainment using the drag strap. So what you saw there is one of the reasons why I laugh when people say, "Oh, you put a motor in your kayak, you must be lazy." I'd say come fishing with me and find out how lazy I am. But honestly, I don't want people with that sort of mentality. I don't want to share water with them. I want to share water with people that are willing to do whatever it takes to get to those places that are hard to reach, that are difficult. And really, people that are only rely on a pedal drive or a motor or paddling skills are limited until they start using this. So when I started kayak fishing a long time ago, late 90s, I flipped a kayak and knew that I needed an education and took a bunch of different classes and ultimately got certified as a paddling instructor and started teaching people how to fish out of the kayak, teaching them the different skills, but in terms of handling the craft and pattern development and forage assessment and stealth approaches, all of those skills. But one of the skills that I learned along the way was in a swiftwater rescue course, and what that really taught was that when you get in the water, your feet need to take short steps, and you don't say this foot is secure. You don't put weight on this one or even start moving this one forward until you know that this one's secure. So you got an anchor foot, and you take that short step and make sure that foot finds really strong ground, really anchored up before you lift this foot, because it's all going to go to this one. And that's difficult to do, especially when you're in current, especially when you're stepping on rocks that are slippery. And the worst thing that you can do, and you'll see that I was careful not to do, is to have one footing back here and feel around and keep going further and further out and say, I'm going to find this one right up here. That wider stance in between the two anchorings of good foothold is dangerous. If you go out too far and this one starts to slip because you're already transferring weight forward on this one, that's where you get into trouble. So take short steps, find a good anchor on the lead foot before you release with this one, and just keep moving. Lots of short little choppy steps to good anchorings, and you'll get up through that area. Same thing when you're coming up over even the shallow rocks. You're stepping on rocks that are out of the ground. Lower your center of gravity. As you go forward, you'll see that I really crouched down, and I got it so that it wasn't just my feet that were the anchor, my butt was down, my center of gravity was low, so I didn't want to risk having injury from slipping when I was doing those short steps forward. I lowered my center of gravity, and certainly those rocks that are out of the water, you're bringing that slippery liquid on your shoe with you, and it is going to be slippery. So hopefully that helps you in knowing when you start dragging up through this stuff. Just some pointers to be secure, not lose your footing and get swept back downstream with your kayak.